Hi students, and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian and I'm streaming to you from beautiful Victoria here in Western Canada. I hope everybody is having a great weekend so far, and today we are looking at IELTS Band 9 Speaking Part 2, Spending Time Together. Welcome Amu, hi LSG, welcome Rajmi, Manpreet, good to see many students in the class. I'm getting over a flu, so my voice is a bit off, everyone. If I start losing my voice, well then that'll be that, but until then, we'll keep going. Hi Amira. This lesson is brought to you by aehelp.com for academic IELTS, visit us there. And for the general IELTS, visit us at gieltshelp.com. Show you those websites. This is our academic IELTS website here with the blue background. Click that big red button to join our premium package there. Use the code ULTIMATE9 to get a 25% discount. For the general IELTS, visit us at gieltshelp.com. It's this green background, and you can click that big red button there. We're going to use these websites today to talk with each other, with our members. We're an official IELTS test registration center and certified agents, so you're in great hands with us. Welcome Carolina, our chat moderator. Welcome Cass. Good to see our members joining in as well. All right, students, so for our apps, get the app Academic IELTS Help and the app General IELTS Help. Link the app to the websites and follow us on Instagram, IELTS_AE Help and GIELTS Help. If you have questions, you can send me an email. My email is adrian@aehelp.com. We've got task speaking part 2 right now, the cue card, the long part. And then tomorrow we'll have task 1 writing and speaking part 3. Hopefully my voice will hold out for the rest of this week's live classes. So that means you're going to do a lot of talking today instead of me, okay? Which is good. It's more practice for you. Students, this question, today's cue card question, was sent to us by a student from Vietnam. His name is Duc, and this was, I believe, a question recently on one of the IELTS exams, okay? So this is a recent cue card question. Sent to us by a student from Vietnam. Okay. So let's get into it. Cue cards. How do we do it? What do we do? All right. First, read the cue card. IELTS Speaking Part 2. Okay. So after about 5 minutes, the examiner will say, now I will show you some questions. You will have 1 minute to prepare your answers. And then you will have 1 to 2 minutes to speak. I will tell you when to start, when to stop. And then you look at the cue card. Now, step number 1 is read the question twice carefully, okay? Step 1, read the question twice carefully. Make sure you understand it. So you give the right answers. Again, one of the most common problems or mistakes on the IELTS speaking part 2 is that students are not talking about the right ideas. So be careful. Eugen, I'm doing pretty good, but my voice is still kind of iffy from this flu. So You're going to have to pay extra attention, which is good because it's good to focus on the IELTS. Okay, so read the question twice. Let's do it. So let's read this question twice. Talk about a person you like to spend time with. Okay. Talk about a person you like to spend time with. Who the person is, how the two of you met, what the two of you like doing together. Why do you like spending time with this person? Okay, so who is this person, how you met, what the two of you like doing together, and why you like spending time with this person. Okay, so step one, clear. All right. So now step two is to identify the topic and category. Okay, the topic here is a person that I like to spend time with. Okay, and the category is a person. When we talk about a person, okay, so when we're communicating to another individual about a person, we're talking about that person for 1 to 2 minutes. We have to do that in a very clever kind of way, all right? So if we're talking to a person that we don't know and we're talking about a person that they don't know, what should we tell them and how should we tell them so that they can clearly understand what we're saying? So when you talk about a person, what should you think about? Okay? What should you think about when you talk about a person? To someone who doesn't know that person. Keep that in mind. They've never met this person. The examiner has never met the person that you're going to talk about. Okay? Okay, Cass says, first of all, describe the person. Yeah, so briefly, briefly describe the person's appearance. So what they look like. Why? Why do you want to briefly describe what the person looks like, their appearance, right? Because humans are visual. They want to picture the person. Okay, so we want to be able to see this person. Okay, that will help your band score. So the more visible your communication, the better, the higher your band score. It's a great way to introduce, right? So appearances matter. I think there's even a saying like that, appearances matter, right? So keep that in mind. So you should always practice a little bit about, describing people's appearance, what they look like, okay? All right. And don't spend too much time on it. So like maybe 15 seconds. Okay? If you want me to quantify it, like how much time should I spend explaining what this person looks like that I like to spend time with? 15 seconds. Okay, just enough to give me an idea so I can actually put a shape to this individual. All right. Yeah. Give them an idea what the person looks like. Sure. right? That's what we do. And good writing, that's what we do too. When we introduce characters, we introduce their appearance, right? So when you read a story where there are different people and characters, then usually good stories do a good job of describing the appearance of those individuals. I think it was Leo Tolstoy, a very famous Russian author who was acclaimed as brilliant at describing people's appearances. He especially liked focusing on the eyes of individuals, right? Because eyes are so important. So describing the look of the eyes can be very, very valuable. Okay, and then when you talk about a person, talk about their personality. Okay, give me some personality traits, students. So what are different types of personalities? And think about, the topic. So here we're talking about a person that we like to spend time with. Okay. So what are some personality traits, especially personality traits for people that we like to spend time with? Okay. Personality characteristics. Okay, Cass says gregarious, outgoing. Sure. Free-spirited. Sure. Tatiana, amiable. Likeable, yeah. Extrovert, Simran says. As opposed to introvert, sociable. Yeah, like to socialize. Good fun, hardworking. Keep going. A well-rounded individual, sure. Pooja says naughty. Okay, sure. Why not? Gorgeous is their appearance. That would be their looks, Arman. Considerate. Yeah, I'm still looking for a couple of key ones. Straightforward. It's another way to say honest. Sure. Sensible. I am so surprised that nobody has said empathetic. Empathy. Sympathy is very important. Optimistic. Very good. Positive, yeah. We like optimistic individuals. Karma says dim-witted. I don't know, hanging out with dim-witted people, Karma, maybe not the best idea, but sure. Dim-witted is a person who's not very clever. Okay. Yuri says attentive. Determined. How about the word reliable? Okay. People I like to hang out with are usually reliable people. Really frustrates me when I can't rely on my friends. Okay. Considerate and empathetic are not exactly the same, Tatiana. They're similar. So considerate as somebody who thinks about the other person, but empathetic is a person who doesn't just think about them, but is also emotionally relating. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. So Tatiana, a person who's considerate will think about the other person. Will say, hey, okay, they might need that. And that's a part of empathy. But another part of empathy is also the emotional connection. Okay, so let me kind of make that clear. An empathetic person is both considerate and emotional towards the other's situation. Okay, it's a considerate person isn't necessarily emotionally connected or related. Okay, that's the difference there. It's a good question. Okay, generous, sure. All right, so we've got a lot of really good personality traits there. However, ever. One of the big mistakes when students talk about a person for part 2 is they do this. They're like, they do this. Okay, so this question again is talk about a person you like to spend time with. Okay, and a lot of students will do this. Well, there are a lot of people that I really like to spend time with, like my dad, my mom, my sister. But the person who I want to talk about today is my best friend, John. I really like spending time with him. John is a great person. He is really hardworking. He is also kind and generous. John likes to have fun. And John is very friendly. So I really like to spend time with John. John is such a cheery person. Okay, and then they keep going. All right. What do you think the band score is for this kind of answer? Okay. So again, here's the question. Talk about a person you like to spend time with. Who is this person? How the two of you met? What the two of you like doing together? Why do you like spending time with this person? And then here I said, well, there are a lot of people that I really like to spend time with, like my dad, my mom, my sister. But the person who I want to talk about today is my best friend, John. I really like spending time with him. John is a great person. He is really hardworking. He's also kind and generous. John likes to have fun, and John is very friendly, so I really like to spend time with John. John is such a cheery person. So John Williams says it's probably like a band 6. Yeah, it's like a band 6 or a 5.5. Pachu says, yeah. Yeah, so this is about a band 5.5 level answer because it is vague and redundant. I'm really just kind of giving these general ideas. There's not much to go on here. All I've told the examiner so far is that I have a best friend, John, and that John seems to be like a really great guy, but we really don't know much about John. So John is just any old John. He could just be anybody, right? So it's really not the right way to do it, right? Because personality doesn't mean much to a listener on its own. What do we need to include? So when you have personality, you must add what? Okay. Even before we talk about answering the question fully, we have to talk about having more clarity. Okay, having greater clarity. So personality, keep this in mind, students. This is very important. Okay, so personality on its own does not have much sense for your audience. Therefore, yeah, Carolina's saying you have to back it up with action, right? You must prove personality by action. Okay? So you have to prove a person's personality by action. Sure, you think that they're kind and sure you think that they're generous, but why, right? So why are they generous? Why are they kind? Why are they hardworking, right? So first of all, I'd want to take out this kind of a part of the answer, like there are a lot of people, okay? So instead of saying, well, there are a lot of people that I really like to spend time with, I want to answer much more directly, okay? So I want to answer like this. One individual who I really love spending time with is my childhood best friend, John. Okay. All right. Now, I can say, okay, John, he is really hardworking. He puts in 10 to 12 hours each day into his company that he started a few years ago. Even though he is considerate, right? Here we go, Tatiana. So even though he's considerate, because he always finds at least a couple of hours each week to hang out with his friends, including me. Okay. In fact, last week we went bowling together. I'm just making this up, but I'm visualizing this on Saturday and had a great time. Clearly, John likes to have fun. So it is no surprise that his company specializes in event management. Okay, so now I'm tying all of that together, right? Notice how much more specific my response is, okay? And every time I mention a part of John's personality, I'm immediately thinking about how can I back that up with action? So how can I relate that to action? Okay, all right? There's a very special technique or strategy to putting together pieces of good communication, like a puzzle or like a Lego castle, where you understand what is required by your listener. Okay, so the key to a band 9 speaking part 2 response is audience-centered or audience-focused communication. Okay, meaning think about your listener first. Okay, make the communication easy, clear, informative, and ideally for that band 9, enjoyable. Okay? So you want to practice that, all right? And there are words, key words that should trigger these structural components of good communication. Let me give you an example from a different sense here. So here I start off by saying one individual who I really love spending time with is my childhood best friend, John. He is really hardworking. He puts in 10 to 12 hours each day into his company. Okay, but even before this sentence, I like to spend time with him, right? So what does that mean? Think about the questions that would come to mind in your reader's head as you make a statement. So here, in the reader's head, or sorry, in the listener's head, I should say. So what comes to mind in the listener's head, right? When you make a statement. Okay? So when I make this statement, students, one individual who I really love spending time with is my childhood best friend, John. What's a question that comes to mind? Okay. And I'm glad a lot of you are enjoying the tips. That's fantastic. Here's another good one, so pay attention to this one because it's really good. Follow this logic and you'll do great. So, okay, so John says, why do you like spending time with him, Ram? Yeah, there would be a few more, I'm sure. Okay. Yeah, Sarita says, when did you meet him? I mean, Sarita, I did say childhood, so I might go into more detail there, but I did say it's my childhood best friend, so I met him sometime during childhood. Okay, so I've already said this sentence, okay? This is my opening sentence. One individual who I really love spending time with is my childhood best friend, John. So we know he's named John. We know I met him around my childhood. Okay. So one good question is, why do I like spending time with him? That'll come. Yeah, Leith says, what does he look like? What does John look like? Right, so what does John look like? Yeah, if I'm actually truly interested in John, I'd like to maybe know what John looks like, okay? All right, Carolina says, maybe when did you meet him? Okay. All right. Sure. Focus on this topic here. Spending time. Okay. Always focus on the topic because your intelligent audience will focus on the topic. So they'll not just focus on John and John being your best friend, but they'll focus on the concept of spending time, right? So what's another kind of question that would come to mind? Okay. One that would come to mind for me, anyway, is something like, so how much time do you spend with him? Yeah, Tatiana says, what do you do together? But I would even wonder, like, so how much time do you actually spend with him? Nobody else is thinking about that question. Is it only me? Maybe I'm a little different. But you know, if somebody tells me I really like spending time with my mom, one of the questions I would ask them is, oh, really? And how much time do you spend with your mom? Right? Maybe I'm too logical. I'm like a robot, right? Before I even want to know what you do with your mom or why you like to be together, I kind of wonder, like, well, how much time do you spend with this person, right? Like, do you see them once a year on your birthday, or do you actually see them more often, or what goes on, right? All right. So I would wonder that, right? So always keep in mind quantification and the topic, okay? So So keep in mind to quantify the controlling idea and the topic whenever possible, okay? It will really help your communication to be clear. So I would probably, at the beginning, for clarity's sake, tell the examiner that I spend anywhere from 2 to 10 hours hanging out with John each week. We live just a couple blocks from each other. Okay, so I'd probably put that in right at the beginning, and then that gives even more clarity, right, of this topic. So I'm really focusing on the topic and the controlling idea of the question, okay? And then, of course, all of those other questions that you mentioned, they're great, right? Like, why do you like spending time with him? What does he look like? And those will come from those answers and those activities, okay? All right, so now I'm starting to formulate a much better response that's going to be a band 9, okay? So here we go, and this is speaking, students, so make sure to speak and repeat, okay? Don't just listen to me, practice your speaking, and do it aloud so you can hear yourself, okay? All right, so again, for the newcomers to the class, we're dealing with speaking part 2. And we're looking at this cue card here, okay? So speaking part 2, okay. Talk about a person you like to spend time with, who the person is, how the two of you met, what the two of you like doing together, why do you like spending time with this person, okay? Make sure you answer all the questions on the card. That's the only way to get a really high band score, okay? All right, so far, just repeat after me. This is what we have. One individual who I really love spending time with is my childhood best friend, John. I spend anywhere from 2 to 10 hours hanging out with John each week. We live just a couple of blocks from each other. He's really hardworking. He puts in 10 to 12 hours each day into his company that he started a few years ago. Even though he is considerate because he always finds time, at least a couple of hours each week, to hang out with his friends, including me. In fact, last week we went bowling together on Saturday and had a great time. Clearly, John likes to have fun, so it's no surprise that his company specializes in event management. We met during a birthday party in elementary school. And we had a good connection right away. Okay. I'm completely making this up, by the way, so I'm just visualizing this character, John. Okay. Now, you don't have to describe John's appearance right at the beginning, but I do recommend that you should give the appearance of the individual somewhere near the start of your response, because the sooner you give the appearance, the sooner your listener can attach that visual reference, right? So I would definitely include it no later than at this point in my speaking, okay? So give me some sentences, students, for what John looks like, and I'll take some hints from you. So describe John. I'll describe John too, but you describe John, and then we can ask, right? So John is quite fit. He is 180 centimeters tall and about 82 kilos. He's got dark hair, deep blue eyes, and a very charismatic smile. Okay, why not? right? 15 seconds. John is quite fit. He is 180 centimeters tall and about 82 kilos. He's got dark hair, deep blue eyes, and a very charismatic smile. Both he and I have been into sports from a young age. Okay, so I keep talking about, bowling and how he's fit. Might as well throw that in there. It's maybe one of the commonalities between us, right, is sports, athletics, right? So we like to do sports together, okay? John Williams is asking, how about starting with one individual whose company I really enjoy? Yeah, you can start that way, John. Absolutely. It's a good start. All right. Augustine, yeah, I just got into what the two of us have in common that helps us get along so well. Okay. All right. Augustine says he usually wears pretty casual kinds of sports style clothes on a daily basis. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Good, yeah. So he likes to wear casual clothes as he is an easygoing guy. Who is down to earth. And I really like that about him. Because it makes spending time with him enjoyable, right? On Saturday, we had so many good laughs during our bowling game. John just kept making really funny jokes. Okay. All right, so I'm moving along nicely here, and you see how mentally I'm stringing this all together. And I can actually do this within that 1 to 2 minute time frame, stringing it together, just focusing on personality backed up by action, making sure that I have the appearance of John, making sure that I'm focusing on the questions in the card, okay? And that's the other important point, is make sure to look back at the questions on the card, okay? So as you're doing this, okay, always be sure to check the card at the 1 minute mark, okay? So once around a minute has lapsed, and you want to practice this at home when you're getting ready for the IELTS exam, once a minute has lapsed, make sure that you look at the card, okay? So who the person is John, okay? We've answered that, check, all right? How the two of you met, we answered that, check. We met at a birthday party, okay? What the two of you like doing together, kind of check. We like playing sports together. We've done bowling together, but I haven't really said anything else. We like hanging out together. I kind of answered that. I could probably add some more here, okay? And why I like spending time with John, yeah, I've kind of answered that as well, okay? But I can definitely expand on these, and it's usually the last two where you can expand, so you can say even more, all right? So if the examiner doesn't stop you, if the examiner gives you the full 2 minutes, make sure to use it and make sure to give more information. Don't just repeat the information, okay? All right. Okay, so let me take some information from our students today and see what you're saying, what you're coming up with. So Cass says, John is a muscular guy 180 centimeters in height. He's got tan skin. Tanned, Cass, T-A-N-N-E-D, tanned skin. Black hair and has a tattoo on his left arm. Immediately, Cass, my question would be like, what's the tattoo? Okay, dragon tattoo, flower tattoo, heart tattoo, mom tattoo. Okay, also he's quite athletic and outgoing. Nirman says he's got a beard. He's got a well-trimmed beard. Okay. Let's see, what else? Give me more information. So what else do we like doing together? Okay. Let me give you some more information. So when we're not working up a sweat, playing tennis or football, at times we catch a movie together and then have a deep discussion about the plot and the characters. The reason I like to hang out with John is because we don't always agree with each other. And this makes for interesting discourse. I respect John very much, and I expect that we will spend much quality time together for many years to come. Okay. All right. So that's how it goes, students. So here's a full response answer. Let's time it. Okay. Somebody can start a clock on me when I begin. And then you can tell me how long this is. So the IELTS examiner basically says, okay, your 1 minute preparation time is up. Please begin speaking. One individual who I really love spending time with is my childhood best friend, John. I spend anywhere from 2 to 10 hours hanging out with him each week because we live just a couple blocks from each other, so it's convenient and easy to get together. He's hardworking. He puts in 10 to 12 hours each day into his company that he started a few years ago. Even though he's considerate because he always finds time, at least a couple hours each week, to hang out with his friends, including myself. In fact, last week we went bowling together on Saturday. We had a great time. John likes to have fun, so it's no surprise that his company specializes in event management. We met during a birthday party in elementary school, and we had a good connection right away. He's quite fit. He's 180 centimeters tall, about 82 kilos. He's got dark hair, deep blue eyes, and a very charismatic smile. Both he and I have been into sports from a young age. He often wears casual clothes. He's an easygoing guy, and he's really down to earth. I really like that about him because it makes spending time with him enjoyable. On Saturday, we had so many good laughs during our bowling game. John just kept making really funny jokes. When we're not working up a sweat playing tennis or football, at times we catch a movie together and then have a deep discussion about the plot and the characters. The reason I like hanging out with John is because we don't always agree with each other, and this makes for interesting discourse. I respect John very much, and I expect that we'll spend a lot of quality time together for many years to come. Anybody time me there? So how many seconds was that? Practice your speaking at home so you know what 120 seconds feels like, okay? I think that was around 120 seconds. If anything, maybe a little bit over. But as long as you're not repeating, there's a very good chance that the examiner will let you finish, okay? So John said about 1 minute 34 seconds. Carolina says about 1 minute 40 seconds. Yeah, Cass says about 1 minute 40. So it's in that 1.5 to 1 minute 40 second range, okay? And that's what you want to do. So that's how you want to answer that question, okay? Not perfect English, not perfect grammar. Natural, smooth, connected, structured, clear English. That's your focus. Okay, it's not perfect English. You're not focusing on perfect English. You're focusing on clear communication. That's what's most important for high band scores. All right. Thank you for timing me, by the way, John, Carolina, and Cass. I appreciate that. Okay. Guess what time it is? It's time for you to try. So hopefully we have some brave souls out there today who are willing to try this cue card, and I will give you feedback on this, okay? So here we go, everyone. Let me hop over. Actually, you know what? Let me show you how to do this first. So you can volunteer to practice speaking with me. You can actually talk to me. We're going to call people here, okay? Speaking, volunteering for speaking. Speaking part 2, cue card. A little bit scary. That's okay, though. All right. Carolina says, speaking time. So register a free or paid account at aehelp.com. Okay, absolutely. And then log into your My Student account. Okay, I will show you exactly how this works in a moment. Click on Student Partner Speaking. And then here, I'd love to add another step. Actually, let's do it after number 4. So enable your microphone in your browser. Okay. And then number 5 is test your communication or test your system with another person. If you've never used it before. If you've used it before, you know it works fine, obviously. Keep the window open. Okay, so make sure it works. Okay. Keep your window open. And then number 7, message me. You'll see me as master. You'll see a blue envelope and say, I want to volunteer. Okay. All right. So check it out. This is what I mean. Okay. So go to the website. Let's see here. Where am I? There we go. So go to the website aehelp.com. It'll look like this. Okay, blue background, click that big red button for the premium package if you want it. It's a good idea. You'll get lots and lots of materials from us. You can try it for free with the green button. Okay, then you click on the My Student account. It's up at the top here, My Student account, click, click. Okay, My Student account, all right. Yep, and Cass, I see your comment there. Thank you for sharing that, because a lot of students worry about this. But see, Cass says, in my test, she let me finish the 2 minutes. Yeah, if you're speaking fluently and you're not repeating yourself, they'll let you finish the 2 minutes. Okay. So, My Student account, you have computer-based practice exams, over 100 hours of videos, fully interactive course, audio CDs, additional services. This is only in your premium IELTS package. And then you have your student partner speaking. Okay, and the student partner speaking, when you click on that, it will ask you to accept our disclaimer, the disclaimer or usage policy, I guess you can say, means that you're going to be polite and use this software in a proper way, in a proper manner. Okay, and then you get into this page here where we've got lots of people. We've got Maki, Moni, Augustine, Divya, Charita, Muskur, John. We've got a John. That's great. And then we've got Tatiana. And then once you're in here, you can volunteer to speak with me. So you can click on this blue envelope and you can send me a message that is, hey, I want to volunteer. And then you can try to speak with me. And I can see that Tatiana is volunteering. Tatiana, I will definitely give you a chance. Let me see if anybody else wants to kick it off this time, but that's great. So we've got hopefully more and more volunteers coming in. So everybody who's watching, it's open to everybody, not just members this time, not just subscribers, although this is a subscribers chat class. Everybody can volunteer, okay? All right. So I hear some pings, and I see Amrit and I see Tatiana volunteering, which is fantastic. I will give you guys a chance, or girls, guys and girls, a chance as well. I'm hoping that we'll get maybe Maki, Moni, Augustin, Divya, Sucharita. And students, so when you do this, basically you're going to be answering this cue card. So I will show you the cue card. Okay, it's going to be speaking part 2, cue card, talk about a person you like spending time with. And then once I show you the cue card, I'll give you that 1 minute mark, and then I'll start you off, okay? All right. So we've got lots more in here. We've got Amir in here. Let's start it off with Amir this time. Okay, hi Amir, are you ready? Okay. And you can hopefully take some notes right now while you're getting ready. Okay.
Hello?
Hi, Amira.
Hello, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm okay. Alhamdulillah. What about you?
I'm recovering from this cold. Amira, where are you, may I ask, before we get into this?
I'm from Palestine. We talked before, actually, twice.
Palestine. Twice. Okay. I'll try to remember, Amira. I'll try for next time. I'll make a connection. All right. Yes, you're doing a PhD, if I remember correctly.
I'm gonna do it soon, inshallah. It's like, do you remember microbiology?
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
I'm the only student who talked about it.
I do remember. That's why I remember that you were doing it for your studies, and I remember making the joke that it's an easy subject. I was being sarcastic about that. Yeah, microbiology, very challenging topic. Okay, so Amira, let's do this. Let's do the speaking part 2. So let me just jump back to the question. So I'm just going to show you the cue card, okay? Yeah. And I'll take some notes while you're answering. So here is the cue card coming slowly but surely. So it's talk about a person you like to spend time with. And in the IELTS exam, what will happen is the examiner will say, I'm showing you some questions. Please don't touch the booklet. You have some note paper there. You'll have 1 minute to prepare. And then they'll actually read the topic. So they'll say, talk about a person you like to spend time with. Your 1 minute preparation time begins now. And then they'll give you that 1 minute. And in this class, we didn't focus on that 1 minute preparation time so much. We focused much more on the answer. So whenever you're ready, you can start to give an answer, okay? And you can pick something similar, like talking about your best friend, or something completely different, like talking about a spouse or a child or a coworker. Up to you, okay?
Yeah, okay.
All right. So talk about a person you like to spend time with. Your 1 minute preparation time is up. Please begin speaking.
The person I like to spend my time with him. He's my fiance. I met him 3 years ago online. He's really funny. And then what I mostly like about him, he's have a confidence when he talks to people. That impressed me actually at first when I met him at first, talking in a group call. Now he's my fiance. We've been together for 6 months now, and we have a lot in common. He's the same. He's a bit taller than me, and maybe his weight could be around 80 kilos. He has a dark hair and blue eyes. I like to spend my time I like it when we spend time together. I like to do some funny things, like maybe watching a movie, or it could be doing some exercise together. Uh, Recently, we started to work together, so we're spending time more, like around 6 to 7 hours in a day.
Okay, your time is up. I'll stop you there. And now I'll take back the questions and we'll continue with speaking part 3. For this part, I will ask you a question related to your response and some questions connected to this topic. Okay, that was good. Amira, that was good.
Is it?
Yeah, it was pretty good, for
think-
sure. I liked it.
I didn't check all the questions to see if I answered
Yeah.
them or not.
First of all, congratulations on being engaged.
Well, it wasn't real. I just made it up.
Oh, see how good it is? You fooled me. I don't know. Did everybody else get fooled there? So Amira just made that up. Anybody else buy that? I bought it. There was one part that was missing that was like, is she really? But I was like 95% convinced that you actually had this fiance.
I got engaged. I got engaged like maybe 3 months ago. That's it. That's the real about it.
Oh, but you are engaged then.
Yeah, but it's not the same. Like it's not the same story.
It's not the
Something
same
else,
story. Okay, so you're engaged, but you went with a fake story. All right, that
Yeah.
was convincing.
I told him about
Yeah,
it.
I can see there in the chat. You convinced other people too. So you're doing a good job when you're convincing people of your of your story. Okay. Yeah, so I was kind of convinced. Okay, yeah, you did some parts really well, and some parts you can improve. I would say that was like a band 7.5. I'm leaning towards. It's definitely that 7.75 range of response. Okay, you're using some good vocabulary. You're giving me some clarity. Some mistakes, like the way that you use the word funny. Funny means like comedic. Careful
I talked about it. I didn't know what to say, so I said it.
Yeah, and careful not to confuse. It's a very common mistake for many people to confuse the word funny with fun. Okay, so you do fun activities together like watch movies, not funny activities like watch movies, right?
Yeah, I know.
funny
He's a funny person. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah. So you don't want to confuse those two. Okay. So let's jump back to the beginning here. You said the person I like to spend time with, and I like how you were direct. That was really good. So you didn't just say thank you for letting me speak and blah blah blah, but you actually like went directly at the question, which is really good. So you said the person I like to spend time with is my fiance. Always, even when you're making it up, if you want it to be even more believable, give your fiance a name. So what's your fiance's name? And this doesn't have to be your real fiance. You can give me like a made up fiance name. Adam?
Adam, not Adam. Okay.
Or Atem, like A-T-H-E-M?
A-D-H-A-M.
A-D-H-A-M. Adam. Okay. Sure. So give the fiance a name, and now we'll even believe you even more. Okay. All right. So you said I met him online. Okay. Good. Quantify it. When did you meet him online?
Oh, using app, Hello Talk, if you know the app.
Okay. Using the Hello Talk app or Hello Talk? I don't
Hello
know.
Talk app, yeah. Yeah, it is for languages.
Okay. So I met him online using the Hello Talk app about 6 months ago, or about a year ago, let's say, 2 years ago.
I said it 3 years ago before I met him.
Okay. All right. So yeah, so you want to give those details, and I caught most of it, so you were doing a good job. Okay, and then you said he's really funny. And then right away, you kind of switched to what I really like about him is his confidence. So what you want to do, Amira, and it takes practice for sure, is to back up personality with action, especially when you say a personality like he's really funny. Why is he really funny?
Because he making a lot of joke.
Yeah, it's one of the tricks men use to win ladies' hearts is making them laugh. So he is really funny because he makes a lot of jokes. Okay. Good. And so that will give that clarity. What I really like about him is his confidence. Um,
Yeah,
okay,
and I did explain that one. Like
you
I was
did. And yeah,
talking to him in the group call, something like that.
you did. And I caught that. Yeah. And then you realized, oh yeah, I gotta say a little bit, especially since he's my fiance. I think one common situation where people are really curious about what the other person looks like is when somebody says girlfriend, boyfriend, fiance. They're like, oh, what does that fiance look like, right? And then you were very clever. You said he's a bit taller than me. His weight is around 80 kilos. He has dark hair and blue eyes. Really good. So that was good. I was able to picture him. And then you said, when we spend time together, I like to do some not funny things, but fun, and don't use things. What's a better word
Yeah.
than things in this case?
Um, we can say
Fun activities,
activities. Yeah.
right? So always find that better word than things. It just makes the speech so much more professional and coherent. Okay, so I like to do some fun activities like watching movies. When you say something like that, so when you say like watching movies, one really quick, easy way to improve your score and your fluency is to throw in an example right away. So, can you give me an example? Like, what kind of a movie did you watch?
Like 3 days ago, we watched a movie. We watched Me Before You. Do you know that movie?
I
Me
don't, but
Before
I'll
You.
check it out.
Yeah, it is a good one. I recommend it for you.
Okay, we watched Me Before You, and um,
It was really romantic, and we enjoy it.
okay. Okay, maybe you're eating some popcorn as well. Good. I can visualize it. Very
Yeah.
nice. Okay, and then you got into another nice little topic there. So you said recently we started working together, so we spend even more time together now, right? Now, I'm your listener. What do you think is naturally my next question here? So if you're telling
Yeah,
me
yeah.
that the two of you
I
started
did
working,
mention it actually to say 6 to 7 hours in a day we spending
that
time.
you mentioned that, and that was good. I have another question that immediately popped into my mind. So as soon as you said,
What do you
recent,
work?
yeah, exactly. I was like, what are you guys doing together? So what kind of work are you doing together? That was definitely
Oh,
the
we're
question.
teaching together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So can you give me a nice full sentence there?
We're spending 6 to 7 hours in a day together working as the teachers.
Okay. What are you teaching? Be specific.
Biology. So he's teaching science and I do teach biology. So
Okay. We are spending six. Where? So where are you spending that time together?
in high school teaching teenagers.
Awesome. Put that all together, and I'm really on the same page as you now about you spending time with your fiance and enjoying life. Okay, so we are spending 6 to 7 hours together teaching biology. You don't have to tell me who's teaching who, what, but it's just telling me the details. So biology and science at the same high school. Okay, now we've got lots of marks coming your way. Okay,
Yeah.
so don't repeat the whole, just this little piece that I put together for you here. I'm going to read it and then read it after me, and you'll kind of feel how it now smoothly flows together. Okay, so let me read
Yeah.
it first here, Amir. Okay, so the person I like to spend my time with is my fiance, Adam. I like to spend time with him because I met him online a couple of years ago through a Hello Talk app, 2 years ago, in fact. And he's really funny. He makes a lot of jokes. What I really like about him is that he's confident. He asked me out on a date, and we had a great time together, and now we're engaged. He's a bit taller than me. His weight is around 80 kilos. He has dark hair and blue eyes. When we spend time together, we like to do some fun activities like watching movies. 3 days ago, we watched Me Before You, and it was really romantic, and we really enjoyed it. I recently we started working together, so we get to spend even more time together now, about 6 to 7 hours, teaching biology and science at the same high school. Okay, do you want to try that?
Yeah.
You can't just read because the reading has some mistakes. You're going to have to kind of go on what I said, okay? So go from the
I'll
top and
try.
try it, okay? Yeah.
Okay, I'll try. The person I like to spend my time with him, he's my fiance at home. I like to spend my time with him. Oh, oh, wait a second. I met him online using this app, How Talk. 2 years ago, he was really funny. He makes a lot of jokes. Uh, what I like about him most is his confidence. He's a bit taller than me. His weight is around 80 kilos. He has dark hair and blue eyes. When we spend time together, I like to do some activities, like watching a movie. 3 days ago, we watched a movie. It was Me Before You. Uh, it was it was really fun. I mean, it was funny and romantic, and we enjoy it. We have some popcorn and chocolate. Recently, we started working together, so we spend even more time together. We spend like around 6 to 7 hours in a day working together as a teacher, teaching biology and science at the same high school.
Very nice, Samira. Very, very nice. So good. So there's definitely a clear improvement in this response versus your previous response. The big difference is the amount of detail and
Details, yeah.
connectedness, those details and those connections of concepts. So that's a very strong 7.5 moving more towards the 8 level now in this case, okay?
Yeah, I'll try to practice
All
more.
right. So, Amira, I'm sure you'll do it because you're a clever person. So again, focus on those details, right? So on the details and the connectedness. Think about that. You know, what is my listener asking? What are they thinking in their head right now? Okay. All right. Thank you so much for volunteering. That was really good. Thumbs up. Everybody give Amira a thumbs up. She deserves it. And again, congratulations on being engaged. It still holds true. You're still engaged, right?
Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks. Have a
Bye,
nice
Amira.
day.
You too. Bye. All right. So that was really good. Thanks for the thumbs up, everyone. That was really awesome. Yeah, I hope everybody's learning from that, okay? So pay attention. I hope everybody is picking up these points because this is what you need to do. So you need to practice just like this. And the system that I used here, you can use this system when you're practicing at home. So transcribe your part 2 speaking. It means turn your response from speech to text and then look at the text and look at where is it missing pieces, where is it missing components, right? Everybody, I'm going to try to give John a chance here because we've talked about John here and now John is messaging me. So let's see if John wants to try this part 2 here. Okay, so John, are you ready? Okay. If John is there, hopefully we can get a hold of John because I know I like spending time with John, as I mentioned. He's athletic. We do bowling together. And now John is here with us. Let's see if John likes spending time with me or John likes spending time with somebody else.
Hello, sir.
Hi, John. How are you?
Well, I'm doing well. How about you?
Really good. So we had a fun game of bowling last Saturday, right, John?
Yeah, exactly. That was real fun.
All those jokes you were making about the bowling pins and the balloons.
And you actually, kind of guessed my appearance a bit. Well, as far as my height is concerned, I'm about 182 and about 75 kilograms. But, well, I got deep black eyes, not blue ones, actually.
But you're definitely fit. Because at 182 and 72, you must be fit. Are you into sports like running or something like that?
Well, I go for jogging every day in about 5:30 for just and as well as swimming.
Yeah, that'll keep you fit for sure. Okay, well, John, jokes aside, I'm glad that we're able to connect. Where are you? What country are you in?
Well, I reside in Uzbekistan.
Uzbekistan. Okay, cool, awesome. Our last class was on the topic of the Aral Sea, which was in Uzbekistan. Okay, John, so let's do this. I'm going to switch back to the cue card here and give you a shot at this response. And then just like what we did with Amira, I'll take some notes and then we'll review after. So here's the cue card again, okay? So it's IELTS speaking part 2. Talk about a person you like to spend time with, who the person is, how the two of you met, what the two of you like doing together, and why do you like spending time with this person. So I'll start you off, okay? So talk about a person you like to spend time with. Your 1 minute preparation time is up. Please begin speaking.
All right. One person whose company I really enjoy is my childhood friend Edward. He is about 17 years old. We have met when I was 5 years old, and actually we were neighbors. And since then, we are really close. We are really close friends. We do share similar interests, and it's like swimming, playing football, cyber sport. To be more precise, we tend to play Counter-Strike Global Offensive. And we usually play it in weekends. During the weekday, we always gonna be engaged with subjects. We gotta enter to our all-time favorite university. So in fact, last weekend we played it for an hour, and that was awesome because we won a match. And actually, winning a whole match in this game is pretty difficult. After which we had a competition in swimming, and although he never attended any kind of swimming activity, he was actually able to beat me on it. Well, so far he wasn't able to do so. So that was a lot of fun with him. He's also kind of.
Your time is up. I'm going to stop you there, John, and now we'll continue with part 3 for this part. I will ask you a question related to your response and some questions connected to this topic. Okay, John, not bad. Okay, that was not bad at all. Solid 6.5 to 7. So just slightly lower than Amira's. Okay, slightly lower, but very close too. Okay, very close too. But I don't think I think your English is pretty much on par with Amira's. I think you're very fluent, and I think you have a lot of really great ideas. And it's not to compare students, it's just kind of give you a relative idea. I think, your English is actually really good. I think you should be able to get a band 8 on the IELTS with your English level. But you have to take a couple of important steps first. Number 1, slow down a bit. Okay, I think you started at a good speed. I think you were a little bit more methodical at the beginning. Methodical means that you were thinking a bit more before speaking. And then as you got going at about 30 seconds into your answer, you started to focus more on your fluency and just talking, rather than thinking about what you're saying. So in the beginning, when you said one person whose company I really enjoy is my childhood friend Edward, and then you said I've known him you said he's 17 years old. You gave a bit of description. You said actually we were neighbors, and then you said we share similar interests like football and tennis, and then cyber sports or esports, right? And then you mentioned that esport. I can't remember what it was, but you mentioned the name of the game. And as soon as you did that, you kind of lost yourself in that concept and you started to focus. And then I think you tried to save yourself by going back to the example of swimming. But when that happens, so when you feel like it's starting to get away from you, like it's a runaway train, slow yourself, maybe look at the cards, right? And then just check okay, what do we like doing together? Or why do I like spending time with this person? And then your notes too. So if you have some notes, you want to check those as well. You were missing kind of one piece here in this answer that I think could have really helped you to get a better band score. When you talk about a person, okay, keep in mind you talk about their appearance, so what they look like in a very short way so that I can picture this person. And then what else do you have to mention about the person?
About his characteristics, I guess.
Yes. Don't say I guess. Be confident. Yes, talk about his personality, right?
Mhm.
I didn't get a sense of Edward's personality. So I got a sense of kind of what you're doing together. And this is the less common mistake. More often people talk a lot about the personality and a little about the activity. But sometimes what happens, and I've seen this as well, what happened with you, is where you talk about the activities, but not really about his personality. So that's kind of the other, like, you're saying that you swim and you play these games together, but is he a funny guy? Is he is he charismatic? So who is this Edward, right? So can you give me a part of his personality? What is Edward like?
All right, adverse. I gotta say that he's handsome guy with and he's got charismatic smile. Well, he always helps me whenever I seek help,
Okay, just
and
a sec.
he's
I'm going to stop you there. So he's always helping you when you seek help. Okay, so what is his personality then? He is...
helpful.
Yeah. Okay, so he's helpful. So Edward is helpful. Give me an instance of Edward being helpful.
Well, actually, last week on Sunday, I was struggling to solve my math like exercise, and which was able to solve, and I just couldn't thank him enough.
Yeah, so let's simplify all that. Edward is helpful. Last week on Sunday, I struggled with math and he helped me out. Okay. Give me another piece of his personality.
Well, he is handsome.
That's appearance. It's not personality.
By the way.
That's looks.
Funny then.
He's
Well-
funny. Okay. Why? Give me an example of him being funny.
Well, he always cheers me up whenever I feel myself a bit stressed, especially after a stressful day. We always have a chit chat in the evenings, and he's always like good at jokes and cheers me up.
Okay. Do you know what a practical joke is?
Practical joke is like a really good one, I guess.
No, a practical joke is usually like some type of joke that plays out in real life. TikTok and Instagram Reels are full of these practical jokers. Like you walk into a room and a bucket of water falls on your head. No,
yeah.
that would
Well-
that would be a type of practical joke, right? So we don't think it's funny when it happens to us, but when we see it happen to other people, we think it's really funny, right? So here's
yeah.
a different way to say it. So Edward is funny. He always cheers me up when I feel down with some kind of a practical joke. Just the other day, he scared my sister with a rubber snake. Okay, something like that, right? Just coming up with the idea. Okay, so personality backed by action. So instead of rushing into a lot of ideas, like a lot of activities, slow yourself down and then go, okay, personality, action. And when you practice that a little bit, John, so once you do this a couple times, talking about a person, it starts to become automatic. It'll become natural. You'll be like, oh, okay, he's hardworking. He wakes up at 7 a.m., runs for an hour, then he goes to his job, comes back at 8, studies for his master's. So it becomes natural to go personality, action, okay? And then that will give a lot more quality and detail to your answer. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so I think you have great English. Just really put emphasis on structuring your communication, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, all
And
right.
also, it's like when I do speaking with like you and other like some examiners, I'm just a bit more like stressed because I never had in this kind of speaking.
Yeah.
Actually.
It's not common to most people to do this kind of speaking. I agree with you. And one way to avoid that stress or to mitigate that stress is to focus on the strategy. So just be like, okay, I'm talking about Edward. I'm talking about why I like spending time with him. I have to explain Edward's personality and I have to back up that personality with action. And then if you keep focusing on that train of thought, then you'll see that you'll suddenly realize you're not that nervous because you're focusing on what you need to do instead of on the fact that you're in an exam or being nervous, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I think you're doing a fantastic job. Keep it up, okay? And thank you so much for volunteering.
And thank you too.
All right.
Have a good day.
You too. Bye, John. All right. That was my good friend John over in Uzbekistan. Not quite just a couple of blocks away from me, but we did spend some good time together, and I did enjoy spending this time with you, John. So there is some truth to the made-up example of today's class. All right. Let's see. Do we have anybody else? Let's take another person today. Well, yeah, maybe not. I'll save my voice for tomorrow, students. I'm a bit worried if I keep going. I'm not going to have any voice left for tomorrow's class. So I'm going to stop there for this class. And I think that was lots of information for everybody in this class on what you need to do for speaking part 2 to get those higher band scores, those band 9s, right? So again, talking about people, focus on appearance. What does this person look like? Personality, back up personality with action. Just telling somebody that this person is hardworking doesn't mean anything if you don't tell them what that hard work is, right? Or if they tell them they're kind. Yeah, what is kindness? Kindness is best proven by action. An act of kindness is worth 1,000 times the intent of kindness. Keep that in mind. Tomorrow, students, task 1, writing for members, and then speaking part 3. That speaking part 3 will actually follow this topic of spending time with people. So make sure you come back for that. Thank you so much for our volunteers in this class. Samira, John, that was super brave. Thank you. I wish I could take some rest, Panda, but I have a couple of other things I have to do before I can do that. So not yet, but I'll get there. Visit us at aehelp.com for academic IELTS, everyone. GIELTShelp.com for general IELTS, and use that code ULTIMATE9 for that 25% discount. I will be back tomorrow at this time and a little bit earlier for that task 1 writing class for everyone. Have an awesome rest of your day wherever you are in this big, beautiful world, whether it's Palestine, Uzbekistan, Russia, or in Argentina. Enjoy the start of this long weekend if it's an Easter holiday for you. Bye, everyone.